Did you know that half of all couples that break up end up making amends and getting back together? That isn't too surprising, but what is surprising, however, is that many couples that broke up and later made amends have been able to make it work the second time around. Breaking up isn't easy, and for many, you're left feeling deeply hurt, lonely, and confused. It's common to start to wonder whether you should give it another chance, or if you're better off alone. And when the emotions are high, it can be hard to know what constitutes as a good reason to give it another shot and what doesn't. Today, we're revealing the top 5 worst and best reasons to get back together with your ex. But before we begin, please take a second to subscribe to this channel for more super helpful tips for having a satisfying dating life. Plus, coming up, we'll tell you how you can get a free gift, the top 7 man-melting phrases that make men fall for you. This gift is all yours completely free of charge, so stay tuned to find out how you can get your hands on it. But for now, let's begin the countdown on the top 5 worst and best reasons to get back together with your ex. Let's start with the top 5 worst reasons. Number 5, maybe he's changed. A really bad reason to get back together with an ex is because you assume things are different when you haven't addressed unresolved issues. This is such a big problem that Kansas State University did a study on it, saying that couples often have problems getting back together because both people assume that the other has changed during the breakup period. This assumption can cause a lack of communication, where the couple doesn't address the old issues and just assume that they're resolved. This leads to worse communication, more bad decisions, and even lower self-esteem, according to the study. It makes sense to think that breaking up made him have an epiphany and change. But what if your relationship ended due to trust being broken? Is there still baggage and unresolved issues? It can be easy to skip over issues that ruined the relationship before. You may think things like, why bring them up now when that issue isn't a problem? Why cause tension when things are going so well? And maybe we've changed and I don't need to make an issue of old problems until they resurface. However, if they were issues before, then the same issues will be there unless they're addressed. If they're not addressed, they become the elephant in the room that you can't talk about. Bottom line, if thinking of an old issue brings up negative emotions, that issue might still be a problem. Okay, next up on our list is number 4. You're going back to what's familiar. We get it, it's hard out there. But that isn't a reason to go back to a relationship if you really want it out in the first place. Going back to what feels familiar is what sucks people back into a relationship that they just left. And once you're out, it's easier to forget the tension, fights, or differences that drove you apart. You tell yourself, maybe things weren't that bad, maybe we've changed, and at least I know what to expect from him. We're somewhat defined by the people we surround ourselves with. So of course, your relationship was a big part of your life and self-identity. Couples have favourite restaurants, songs, shows, and places to go. It fills our memories and it's hard to let go. Losing that feeling with your relationship is called identity loss. Yes, that sucks, but it can be a growing experience. While it's difficult to break away, it can be even harder later if you keep going back. Being single is actually a great time to learn new things, go to new places, and find hobbies and interests of your own. Bottom line here, for one, you rock. You're awesome because you're you. And missing a Netflix and chill buddy isn't a good reason to get back together. Have you ever gone back to an ex because it felt comfortable and familiar? Tell us in the comments below. Next up on our list of the top 5 worst reasons to get back with an ex is number 3, you're rebounding. Yeah, it happens. You were enjoying the single life and you fell into a relationship again. It's magical to find a relationship after a bad breakup, but it's downright deflating when that relationship falls apart too. Your ex might be ready and waiting, ready to step in again if you give any indication that you're receptive. At this point, that first relationship may feel safe, nostalgic, and is a great way to stop your heart from hurting in the here and now. But it's a little like jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. You're going from one wrong relationship to another. Bottom line, don't use an ex to soothe your ego. It's not fair to either of you. You're probably feeling a little lost and alone and you don't know what your heart wants. This is why you need to do some soul searching on your own. Take time out to process your emotions. Breakups take a toll on us and we need to focus on self-love if we want to properly heal. So, ensure that you look after yourself and concentrate on you, just for now. Surround yourself with your loved ones. Get out and do the things that you enjoy. Truly look after yourself, relax and de-stress. This will help you to have a clearer mind, and then you'll be in a better position to make decisions. Before we continue, we want to give you a free gift, the top 7 man-melting phrases that make men fall for you. This amazing report is a must-have, and it's all yours completely free of charge. Simply click on the link below in the description to claim your free gift. Next up is number 2, you would be settling. One reason why going back to an ex is bad is because you're accepting someone or a relationship that you didn't want before. We call that settling. If a relationship ended, one fact is clear: it ended for a reason. Either it felt wrong for you, your partner, or both, but either way, it wasn't working out. When couples get back together for the wrong reasons, it can actually have adverse effects. According to a 2014 study about relationship tuning, when getting back together for the wrong reasons, there were a higher rate of conflict. And another study found that there was less dedication to the relationship. So, you really need to examine why you would go back to this person, which we'll do when we count down the best reasons to get back together. Right now, ask yourself why you weren't happy or satisfied before. You might be settling if you're not excited to spend time with him again, but you don't want to be alone. You discovered it was harder than expected to find someone else. You feel that he will do until you can find someone else who excites you. He still has a lot of annoying habits, but you just don't think you'll find better. And he just doesn't feel right, but you're not sure who else you'll date, so why not? Just remember, you are amazing just the way that you are, and you don't have to settle. Being single can be incredibly freeing, and it gives you time to grow, learn, and discover more about yourself. If you put yourself first, you'll become that interesting, fun woman that men are attracted to, and then you'll have your pick. So don't get back together because you think he's your only option. Perhaps you know he treated you poorly or you were unhappy, but you worry that you won't find someone else. If that's the case, stop that negative thinking right now. You deserve to be in a fulfilling and happy relationship, and you shouldn't accept any less. And that brings us to number 1 on our countdown of the top 5 worst reasons to get back together with your ex. Number 1, he's settling. He wanted to sow his wild oats, as the saying goes. Or he was chasing another girl and he didn't get her. Or he wanted to play the field and then decided it was lonely out there. Whatever the reason, he left and now he's coming around again. At first, it will feel great that he wants you, but really think about why he left in the first place and why he wants you back. Is he really treating you like a priority now? Or are you just a booty call or someone to make him feel wanted? Bottom line, if you feel like a consolation prize, then you probably are. And if he wanted to try for better or even cheated, he's much more likely to do it again in the future. Remember, you deserve incredible. And if you feel like he only wants to get back together just because, then this is not a good reason to get back together. You need to know that he's excited to be with you. He can see what went wrong and he misses you deeply. Not that he just wants to be with you again because he's lonely. Now you have the 5 red flags that should warn you away from getting back together with your ex. If these red flags aren't popping up, and you haven't found other reasons why it'd be a bad idea to try again, then it's time to count down the top 5 best reasons to get back together with your ex. Starting with number 5, you weren't in the right place before. Everyone is on a journey in life in many different ways. It's possible that you weren't ready to commit before for emotional reasons or something more physical like a demanding work schedule. If your relationship ended because one of you needed to focus on family, work, or a personal obstacle, you might be in a better place and have more time now. People learn, grow, and change in their own way. In this case, try to ascertain if life is really different for you or the other person, making it more feasible to have a relationship now. It would be sad to try again and find that the same problems are in the way. Naturally, people will wonder, well, am I in the right place now? That's a very healthy question because it looks at your entire life. Remember, your whole life is important, not just the romantic aspect. Here's a few questions to ask yourself. Are you in a better place? Have you grown as a person? Are you working towards your own goals? And are the issues or obstacles from before different now? Your answers will guide you in knowing if you're in a better place to pursue that relationship now. So, Take your time to assess what is different in your life and what was in the way before that isn't now. Time for a quick challenge. Can you fill in the blanks? You're both willing to blank blank. What do you think it could be? All will be revealed at number 1 on our list. Next up is number 4. You were chasing greener grass. Admit it, we all compare our lives to others on social media. The same is true for relationships, especially our romantic relationships, which tend to be the center of our life. People have always viewed other situations and wondered if the grass is greener on the other side. It's easy to begin to wonder if we can have more and wonder how our lives could be. This is especially true now that we look at other lives online and see only what they want us to see, the very best pics and situations. If you're sitting next to your partner on the couch and he's absorbed into his phone, you might feel ignored. You might go online and see other couples doing romantic things together. Suddenly, your relationship seems lacking. Let's say you left a relationship because you wanted more, and once you got out there, you realized that things were pretty darn good back with your ex. This does not mean that you should settle for an ex, but if you realize your unhappiness before was simply from chasing greener grass, then you might be looking at one of the best reasons to get back together with your ex. We have to warn you though, this one is tricky. If your ex feels like you wanted to go chase Mr. Right, but decided to settle back with him, he might not like the situation. This will take honest, open communication and showing him that he is truly a priority to you now. So if you can see that you made the mistake of neglecting the relationship and know in your heart that you had what you truly wanted, then you may be able to make amends provided that you see the value in the relationship going forward. Don't forget, you have a free gift waiting for you. Click the link in the description below to claim it now. Next up on our list of the top 5 best reasons to get back with an ex is number 3. You can accept each other. We often build people up in our mind and then we're let down that they didn't meet our expectations. If you left a relationship due to his flaws, it's critical now that you don't think that you can still fix them. This brings up 2 questions. Did he change and grow? Or can you accept the things that bothered you before? Maybe you realized that those flaws aren't really flaws, but unrealistic expectations. A partner can't read your mind, always tell when you need comfort, or know what to say every time. They won't always be on the same wavelength as you and going in the same life direction either. So the question isn't, is he perfect now? It's, will you be happy with him just the way he is? Maybe you've grown and realized that it doesn't matter if he hates football or he won't go to concerts with you. Maybe you can handle the way that he loads the toilet paper differently. If you truly miss him and you want him in your life, make sure you're accepting of who he really is. And if you can do this, then you have a good reason to get back together. Just as important, can he accept you for as you are right now? You've decided that you miss him, love him, and you want to spend time with the true him just as he is. But what about you? Can he be happy with you just the way that you are? Think back. Did he try to change you? Did he complain about aspects of you that haven't changed? As you start to spend time with him again, does he comment on things that he wants you to do differently? This is a big clue to whether he wants to start fresh with the new you, or he's still looking for someone that he can mold into his ideal. These are important questions to consider when thinking about giving it a second try. Okay, moving on to number 2. You've both identified what went wrong and why you broke up. If you want to get back together, it's important that you've both changed in positive ways if there were issues before. And of course, that means that both people understand why the breakup happened in the first place. In a study from Kansas State University, Professor of Family Studies and Human Services, Amber Venom, said it's possible to bounce back when a couple really addresses the reasons behind the breakup. It's critical to understand those reasons so you don't struggle with the same issues. So, if you truly want to make it work, ensure you and your ex understand why the relationship didn't work out before and that you agree on those reasons. You don't want to fall into any negative patterns that you had. So be honest with yourself and take a good hard look at the relationship that you had together. We've made it to number 1 on the list of the top 5 best reasons to get back together with your ex. Do you have any idea what it could be? Let's continue to find out. Number 1, you're both willing to work harder. Once you and your ex both understand and agree what didn't work before, and you feel that you've both grown as individuals, Then it's time to discuss how you and him have grown and changed so that you'll be able to overcome those past issues. Be open about what obstacles you see and possible issues so that you can meet them head on. Because if you want this to work, both you and your partner need to be willing to work harder this time around. It can't be one-sided. You both need to put in the hard work. You need to be committed to make changes if you want to see the relationship work out this time. Ask yourself, are you committed to doing your best and working toward a different outcome? And ask him, is he willing to do the same? Treat this as a new relationship where you explore each other for the people that you are now. And as a second chance where you don't ignore past issues, but rather work them out for a better and brighter future. When you want to get back together with your ex, make sure it's a positive thing based on good reasons, and you're both ready to be flexible and open together. Well, there you have it, the top 5 worst and best reasons to get back together with your ex. Don't forget, you can claim your free gift by clicking the link in the description below. We would love for you to click the like button and subscribe to our channel for the best dating and relationship tips and tricks. Thanks for listening and have a great day.